Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Good morning and many thanks to you for joining us here on AM Ghana. Well, in case you just woke up, perhaps you just checked your phone and you received a notification on your phone that AM Ghana is live. Yes, we're live on Facebook and on YouTube at Adoatv Ghana and YouTube at Adoatv_GH. My name is Reginald Addy and welcome to a beautiful Monday morning. I'm not doing this alone. I'm here with my very own brother Sam Kusiapia. And well, I just want to remind you of one thing always as we do it on Mondays. Well, you will have scars, okay? You will have scars. But this would only mean that you have healed from your deepest wounds. It would mean that you have been resilient. It would mean that you have been through some difficult moments. But far as you see your scars, it means that you have life and you were able to overcome those challenges. Those challenges will make you resilient. Those challenges will make you strong. And just as the world is full of challenges, so is it full of solving it as well. So whatever your challenge may be, I pray that you see to the end of it. Sam, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Ray. I'm very much well. I hope you're also doing well.
I say that yesterday you over enjoyed because yes, our people made us proud. We
Yes,
sat
yes,
we,
yes.
we sat in the studios talking about this very much,
Yeah.
anticipation and all that.
Yeah.
Gladly, it was a draw between us and Ethiopia, and
Yes.
I didn't know what would have come of it. So I tried calling you actually, but thanks to the network, I don't want to mention the network's name, but the network make
operator.
my eye red.
Oh, sorry,
The
sorry,
network
sorry.
it make my eye red because when I was calling, it wasn't going through.
Yeah, sorry.
I wanted to find out what would have been our fate. With lo and behold, we played Bafana.
And one. That was
And
actually our
won.
only option. We
Indeed.
had one option.
Indeed.
And the option was to win. That was all we needed because we made it difficult for ourselves when we couldn't beat Ethiopia.
Yes.
And so the last lap was against South Africa. And well, the good thing is that we were able to win at the end of the day.
Indeed, we needed that solid goal because
Exactly.
when you look at the points and standings, we were all at par.
Yeah.
And we needed a separator
Yes.
and a denominator. And lo and behold,
Exactly.
Ghana made us proud and we are happy. Kudos to the entire team.
Yeah.
It was undoubtable. I mean, when you look at the possessions, that indeed, Ghana was on top of it.
Yes,
at the moment.
they did their best. I
Yes.
think yesterday, I was telling a friend that I think the boys showed commitment
Exactly.
yesterday than what we saw in the Ethiopian game. They showed a lot of commitment. They were all over the place.
Exactly.
You could see that even when they were tired, they wanted to get
yeah.
something out of the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
And it happened for them.
Except for the final moments, I mean, in the last moments when all pressure was mounting
Exactly,
at our
exactly,
gates, Charlie,
exactly.
at that point, I wasn't
just
sitting anymore.
Exactly.
I was out of my seat.
A colleague of mine, Sadiq Obama, said, Charlie, the last 5 minutes, he can't watch the game. I mean, because you didn't score a second goal, he just decided not to watch the last 5 minutes because he didn't want to see what happened.
You wouldn't want to know what happens in those last moments. But for the boys who bet against their own country, you are, shame on you.
You know, there is this conversation that people wanted the Black Stars to go out because they want to save the country money. you know, that $25 million.
Exactly.
They think that, and people say, oh, the Black Stars should go out so that we don't qualify and we save our $25 million. I mean, 2018 we didn't qualify.
Yes.
Where did their money go?
They still receive their monies. Anyways, let's quickly go into the newspapers. I'm eager to know what headlines we'll be receiving. Remember, the reading of the 2022 budget and economic policy will be presented on Wednesday, 17th November. You can find details of that story on our news portal, www.adoatnewsonline.com, and read into that. Meantime, let's adjure ourselves. The daily graphic here, as always, hefty on a Monday. Green Ghana trees doing well. Yes, the trees are doing well. And I must say that the ones that we planted on our compound and around here at Adoatv Television, we're taking care of them. And you should see how lushful they are, how green they're looking. And indeed, it beautifies the environment and also provides some safe haven for other animals and for we human beings as well. So the trees are doing well. Kudos to the ministry. You can find details of that story on page 16 of the daily graphic. Now on page 20, drowning tragedy. Headmaster in court today. A headmaster who sent the students to his farm would be in court today to answer. Another story on page 16, UNESCO has impacted Ghana's development, says President Kufuor. Now, the big story here, audit service says 387 million Ghana cedis, says the vice president. And that story is continued on page 3 from the front page of the daily graphic. The back page, call it the graphic sports, daily graphic sports. 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifier. In the African qualifiers, the Black Stars qualify for playoff, and we topped our should we call it division? Category. Our table. Yeah, we call the table. Group. Let's put it that way. So yes, Ghana came out successful, and kudos to the Black Stars. Kudos to Andre Ayew for that differentiator. I read the story at the back page of the daily graphic, and I take chance to do the mid-spread Ghana Business Awards, and we have a long list of all the winners from Business Meritorious Award, Agribusiness Company of the Year, Telecom Company of the Year, and it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Ghana Business Awards, and grab a copy of the daily graphic for yourself and dive into all of it. Well, that's it for the daily graphic. Sam, what do you have?
Well, I have the Ghanaian Times, the most authoritative newspaper. What do we have here? 571,894 candidates begin BEC today. Stakeholders warn against exam malpractice. 571,894 candidates begin BEC today.
How many of them?
571,000.
571,000.
894. Almost 572,000.
We are wishing them the best.
Yes.
We wish them the very, very best. I pray that they are not discouraged.
Yes,
that course. You know, they will finish school and the country that they will serve after a year will not be able to absorb them.
Yes.
And you know,
I had my own challenges. You know, over the past week, I think we saw reports coming from some parts of the region, of the country. I think even in Accra, where some of these schools were going to write the BEC without some subject teachers. And they have not been doing those subjects for like 6-8 months. Yet they are supposed to write those subjects.
So I think this will drive us a long way into, you know, conversations about education. Because you look at recently with the rains and all that, I bet you what, a lot of JHS schools in the villages have had to close down anytime it rains.
Yes.
And one student who spoke to the media indicated that, you see, they are going through all of this. However, the conductors of the BEC are not considering. They don't know. In fact, they don't care that somebody somewhere is going
these
through
students are
all of
expected
these.
to also make the
Exactly,
grades
they are also expected
before
to
they
make
can,
the grades.
they can go to the schools. That is quite unfortunate. That's
So
quite
even in
unfair.
education, there's such inequality in the country.
Well,
We'll get there.
stakeholders
We'll get
warn
there.
against exam malpractices. Okay. Well, Ghana needs to $25.6 million to meet targets on tuberculosis, TB. Head teacher in trouble over drowning of 9 pupils in Oti River. Catholic bishops appeal to government to address challenges facing free SHS. Okay.
Have you heard from Honorable Yabuabian Samoa on the Catholic Bishops' Conference?
Yeah, after he responded. But there were reports that investigations should be conducted into the response because the purported response wasn't from him.
Wasn't from him. There was, but look, he can decide. All right. A very good morning to the Honorable former Member of Parliament. Now he can decide. All right, to shy away from what has been reported. All right. If it wasn't as though he was being quoted, there is not so much he can do about it. If it was being paraphrased, certainly it was out of context. Now, I have read some portions of his presentation on that matter, and sincerely, there is a lot to worry about in that presentation. And I think that the New Patriotic Party, as a political party, should put some level of importance on their communication and consider some of the utterances that they make. Because I tell you what, these people in power, they seem to be in a great divide away from what the ordinary Ghanaian is feeling. So when they speak, sometimes it comes out undesirable and unpalatable.
I've always said that, our authorities, our leaders, are so removed from the ordinary life, the daily lives of a Ghanaian.
Exactly.
So sometimes I don't know whether in reality we can blame them or not. The reality is that they don't really
feel it.
So they come out and just say what they feel. At the end of the day, we get hurt. But that is the truth. They are not part of us. They are so removed from our lives. They don't see the photos.
Far, worlds apart. And so
just consider how they live.
Exactly.
From the chilling ACs in their homes
to the allowances,
to the travelings, to the certain allowances per diem, salaries.
The list goes on and on.
Yes, of course.
It goes on and on.
So
the ordinary Ghanaian cannot even afford 1 cedi 20 pesos to buy toilet roll.
So if
and then they use graphic, they use the newspapers that is supposed to impact knowledge, that they are supposed to keep for future. Then use this one to clean their somewhere. Excuse me this morning.
If you have the newspaper, you are far gone.
But it's sad. Look,
but
these people are cleaning their somewhere with 4-ply, super soft toilet rolls, and
those with the newspaper are also far gone. The reality is not even the newspaper, bro. People are using
Note 3. People are using Note 3.
People are using
and what the long
far west things to do that. So that's what they are so not part of us. They are so not part of us. So
he can decide to look at just one aspect of the entire conversation. But look, Ghanaians heard him. Ghanaians listened to him. We heard him.
And all of them. I mean, we hear all of them.
Exactly.
It's sad. Not just him.
It's sad. I think they should place some importance on the communication. You're a director for communications of a big party. In fact, the ruling party. When you speak, let people understand that you have empathy.
For them,
at least.
The honest reason, for them, everything is always about politics. They see politics in what me and you are
saying, right?
Appealing to. They think that, and unfortunately, that is how far we have come.
Yeah, people are suffering. The 4 price increments. If I talk about, who are you?
If I talk about these BEC candidates perhaps not being treated fairly, government should come in and and
yes,
I am seen as an opponent.
Yes,
you understand.
Yes.
Unfortunately, on the other hand, if you also criticize something on the other hand, you are also seen as an opponent. So we have a long way to go. Anyway, let me see what we have here. Polyphenols, chemo prevention in cervical cancer. Okay, something on health. And let me quickly handle public interest and accountability committee. Okay, so this is coming from them rather. Handle report passionately. The Public Interest and Accountability Committee urges Parliament to handle the public accounts reports passionately. 250 journalists to be sponsored for training annually. And let me quickly, government focus on preventing security threats at borders. Let me run back to the pages. In sports, France, Belgium reach World Cup, and the Hazakis ladies face AS FAR club today. Okay, Bazigi voted best coach of the group. Street Academy trained staff, and well, has still winless after 3 games. Kotoko retained perfect start, and Olympics crack stubborn cities. I didn't see Black Stars, but let me add the Black Stars. Black Stars won yesterday. Thank you. And that's it for the Ghanaian Times.
All right, let's move away from the Ghanaian Times. I have the daily guide here with me. In case you've not gone out there to see, or perhaps you're stuck in your vehicles and you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, well, let me share with you that a Zongo girl tops in medicine. Flat. Zongo girl tops in medicine. But I don't think this should be news. Who says that people from the Zongo cannot top? Like, why should this be news? Why isn't it news when somebody from other jurisdictions stops? Other areas stops? Okay, well, we admit that there are challenges in most of our Zongo communities, but I bet you what, look, the Idrisus that I met in Adisado College and some of the Godwin, Ayorimba, and the rest, look, these are real Zongo boys, and like they were topping. Godwin was my house prefect. Kudos to you this morning, Charlie. You're doing well on the party scene. We'll talk about that later. Now, Zongo girl tops in medicine. Kudos to this very Zongo girl, not just a Zongo girl, but a Zongo girl, Oba. She tops in medicine. The story is on page 3, and we see the brilliant students receiving an award. Congratulations to you once again. Health Minister warns common ECOWAS front on COVID-19. That story is also on page 6 of the Daily Guide. Kwekwajima Menu, Honorable Health Minister, good morning to you. It's been a long while we heard from you. Why? You've been silent. Hi, is everything okay?
Is he back from the... He was supposed to be out of work for some time.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, probably the need for...
Back.
Okay. Probably the essence or the reason for his silence. Because I really want to ask the health minister about, the $50 that people have to pay at, overseas before they are able to board their flight. Because a friend of mine is stuck somewhere because he's not able to pay $50.
He doesn't have $50.
Oh, he doesn't have it. So we have to mobilize money and send him the $50 so he can pay. Lo and behold, by God's grace, this morning he should touch down. But it's sad. It's sad because this person just conducted a COVID test before boarding the flight, and you have to pay when you come back to your motherland.
You've forgotten you paid before you boarded your flight.
Oh, me, my own is like it's passed.
Your own is passed, so you want to know whether it's still...
no, I just want to hit hard on it that, look, it happened to me, okay? Now, it has happened to a friend who had to call home for funds to be mobilized for him before he would board. Now, I'm trying to find out the rationale, the essence behind that very initiative, because look, I am not in any way trying to tarnish the image or the work of the people, the health professionals who are there at the airport conducting that test. But Sam, I went through it. You see, if for nothing at all, I went through it, and the cotton that they are supposed to dip into your nose so that you can feel it here, they just put it around just around here. And so I wonder what test comes out. And then they take your details. You get to the point where they have to give you your results. And 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, you are not getting your results. People are massed over there. And that is where COVID will spread. If COVID will spread in that place, the stampede in that area, that is where COVID will spread. Health ministry, go there and check.
I think there are so many things that we are not doing well.
We are not doing anything properly.
You go to other airports and then you realize how virtually the same system we want to sell out to our Ghanaians is being managed somewhere where I mean, it is so efficient that
That's
nobody,
another sad aspect.
I mean, a lot of people do not have to go and mass at one place. We had internet at the airport. I mean, internet at the airport, free Wi-Fi at the airport, where I mean, even you could easily access. So
Free
another
Wi-Fi.
problem is that when you get to where you're supposed to access whatever it is on the internet, and you came back, you are just coming back into the country. What if the person coming in doesn't have a SIM card, Ghana, something to buy internet data on it to access it immediately? What happens there? I mean, all these small things are some of the things that keeps us behind the other countries because they are doing it. You get there, it's easily accessible. You access your. You didn't have to. I mean, if you have a smartphone, you don't have to get a SIM card before you can access a Wi-Fi.
Certainly, not.
I mean, so you can just easily access it, check your status, go for your printed copy, and then get out smooth, quick, and everybody goes somewhere. But here, you have to be there. I remember when I had to call for someone to get me internet, and then I was able to access it. Just imagine if I didn't have anybody to call for.
Access to the internet.
So I mean,
there is a big problem with this very initiative. How come the same people that that get tested before they board the plane would have to come down and then test again?
Agreed that we have to test again. I mean, put the systems in place better.
Fine.
And make sure that it becomes smooth for everybody. I mean, we were there for like 1 hour before we finally go
Hey,
out.
If you're a Ghanaian, pray. Blame your set form economics teacher. Blame your.
I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, I saw this one too. This one is coming from another economics teacher to a former president, so a current vice to a former vice and former president. From His Excellency Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia to former President John Dramani Mahama. Blame your state form economics teacher. The story is on page 3 of the Daily Guide. Now, the back page of the Daily Guide has some sports. Has draw again. Ronaldo pitch invader kid escapes fine. Ronaldo pitch invader kid escapes fine. Why? If you invade the pitch, you'll be fined?
Yeah.
I see. Sometimes for the love of the game, Charlie, you forget yourself and you do things.
Yes, but then, I mean, we should also check. Somebody could just invade the pitch and go and stab a player and kill them.
Exactly. This is a kid, and I understand that the kid has evaded the fine, escaped the fine.
You're able to.
I mean, you look at the situation and then you grant pardon.
Yes.
Okay. Belgium and France pick World Cup tickets. Another one here. Qatar set to rent 4K noisy fans behind hosts. Qatar set to rent 4K noisy fans behind hosts. How's that going to happen? 1 year out from the big kickoff, and Qatar is already looking to extract every ounce of glamour from the World Cup, on which it has lavished an estimated £5.3 billion.
You need to see the stadium.
I've seen some previews. Some of the stadiums.
It's beautiful. I saw some of the VIP stands, and trust me, you know, some of the stadiums have hotels built in them, and the hotels are situated or positioned in such a way that
they can view from your room.
Yeah, you can be watching the game on the field from your room whilst you sit down, relaxed, and all that.
This is massive investment, Charlie.
Really
so
apart from
the
guys
soccer,
prepared for it.
Exactly.
Prepared for it.
So imagine that apart from soccer, this stadium becomes an event center, such that, you know, if you are booking a hotel in the stadium, you're going to have to book with your tickets as well to view, to give you the
Those people are quite far.
They
are quite far.
They are skyrocketing.
Yes, they are quite far. If you look at the preparations for the World Cup, what they have done to make the World Cup happen, and you know, they went through a lot of opposition to get the right to host the World Cup. That is one.
Exactly.
And even after getting the right, they have been hassled to give it up.
Yeah.
For so many reasons. I mean, as people are reporting malfeasance, people are reporting a whole lot of things. And so what Qatar wants to do is to make sure they host an extremely clean World Cup. That after the World Cup, no one has even lost
a pin.
Yes. And so you could see how they are putting everything in it.
Well,
putting everything.
it's quite, remarkable what Qatar is trying to do out of this. Do you think that, Ghana can also get to such heights?
Hey,
Oh, you have
remember,
been, you have been in
you
the
remember
country.
someone, you remember someone said there was a joke that had an answer as this. Future impossible things. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah,
if you have
well,
heard
yeah.
future impossible things. So even in the future,
What do you think it's impossible that Ghana,
it's very possible.
would be
But
able to?
when I think about everything about Ghana, this is what I mean. Well, are we ever going to get people who would say, everything can be done in Ghana, but are we ever going to get a leadership, a group of leaders who will say, we want this to happen for Ghana? I never think of it that way. Like, we cannot get it. And once we cannot get it, it won't happen.
Well,
It won't
I'm
happen.
considering
Look,
this.
you look at what the guys have done, okay? And trust me, I don't know. I do not know how we would, unless some miracle.
Well, so this wouldn't just behove on the hospitality industry. It will also behove on sports because, as we see it, they're going hand in hand.
Yeah.
And I think that sporting should create that avenue for the hospitality industry. There are lots of opportunities in there. Those people who sell pure water, ice cream, pookie, they are all in the hospitality industry, and they are
I think,
raking from it. But how about we get hotels? When you go to the Bavaria Sports Stadium, you realize that the enclave has a lot of hotels,
restaurants, and
around
hotels.
this.
Exactly.
I mean, how can we leverage
on
these things to boost our economy?
It's an area we have not done. An area we have done.
Maybe we should look into it. Our GPL in itself, safe.
You see, during COVID, the EPL was able to go to the government and say, you know what, if you can give us, let's say, 100 trillion pounds, we are struck by COVID. Our
100
clubs, I mean, the exact amount, I'll get it, but they went to the government and said, give us this amount of money. Our clubs are struck by COVID.
Yes.
They need help. And government just laughs to the bank and say, you people come and take the money. It's so easy. I mean, you look at what they are giving the government in return. Look at all these players receiving 300,000, 200,000, 400,000. They are paying 40, 30, 50% taxes. So they're raking a lot for the government. So it was easy. As when we went to the government gave 1 million to be shared for 48 clubs. 1 million
Ghana cedis
for 48 clubs.
Oh. How would that be substantial?
The government has even done well because you don't give the government anything. So this money is free for you. I mean, he has other things to take care of.
That's for our GPL.
Exactly.
For how many clubs?
That is even for the Division 1 class, 48.
That's okay.
So you just do that.
It's okay. I don't even. Sikana, before I pick my calculator, that's Sikana. So anyway, I'm done with the daily guide. Let's look into
quickly into the new crusading guide. Okadeko flout court orders. Continues to build shop on disputed land as Spinktest. Help stop sand winning activities. Deputy Majority Leader charges MPs and banker-to-banker operators on the run as NLA is on arresting spree. Quickly into the middle spread. What's here? We are taking steps to find lasting solution to perennial tidal waves attack and not traditional council. And let me go quickly to the back page. Brazil beat Colombia to qualify for 2022 World Cup. Crystal Palace midfielder called up to England squad as 5 players miss San Marino trip. And Andre Ayew's penalty lifts Ghana over South Africa into next round. That's it for the new Crusading guide.
Oh, it was a penalty?
Yes.
Oh, I missed the first half.
First half, it was a penalty. And that's actually
I was returning from church. Please, let me sit down.
Okay.
I was returning from church.
All right. Okay.
Yes. So I missed the first half.
All right.
All right.
Now God is happy with you. God is happy with you.
Thank you.
There's a question. I don't know if I should go ahead and ask you.
Yeah, I know where the question is coming from. Look, don't let the devil tempt you this morning.
All right, okay. Nana wasuma. Nana has heard you.
Okay.
So the South Africans are angry actually. And they want some investigations into the game. In fact, this morning I got a message from one colleague that says that they are. In fact, let me read it. I pasted it on our group or some
So
sports.
whilst you look for that, let me quickly let me share
okay.
my view on what I thought. You know, I'm a Ghanaian, right? And naturally, I should side with every
Yeah.
good thing that comes on the side of Ghanaians. But apart from noticing that, our guys were handling the
Yeah.
balls, I realized that there were some incidences that the referee, didn't take lightly with the South Africans,
yeah.
but took them lightly with the Ghanaian side. And I started thinking, I wanted to find out the country of origin of the referee.
He's from Senegal.
He's from Senegal.
Yeah, he's from Senegal.
Maybe he has a girlfriend in Ghana. Because I mean, I saw, I mean, certain things I wasn't comfortable with.
In fact, a friend of mine called and said, "Hey, what do you think about the penalty?" I said, "Well, I don't know what to think about it at the moment because I need a qualification. But honestly, if it was awarded against my country, I would be so furious. I wouldn't even know what to do if that was awarded against my country. So there was no surprise as the South Africans were not happy with it. Now, this is what I was sent. He said, I'm reliably told that South Africa will file a protest to have their last World Cup qualified group against Ghana replayed because some people knew there would be a penalty in the game, and there are WhatsApp messages to that effect. They insinuate the game was fixed or referee was induced, and that would have a clear picture of the situation by Tuesday. This is okay. So I think a WhatsApp chat was also forwarded to me, and this is Muftau Nabila. He works with multimedia. He got that hint and then sent it to us. And so that's it. They are not happy at all. And in fact, they are gathering signatures already. There is a report here where they are gathering signatures already to force FIFA. Ghana, so change.org, I saw the reports there that more force FIFA to act against match fixing and replay the Ghana South Africa match. As at now, when I got this image, 4,657 signatures have been gathered already, and they need about 5,000. And so,
let's see.
Yes, of course. By Tuesday, by tomorrow, you would definitely. But I don't know if FIFA is going to take it.
Certainly.
Yeah,
if for anything, there'll be sanctions
yeah,
on those who
not sure
are
that's
purported to
going
have been
exactly.
behind this.
Well, NLA clams. That's for the. You are supposed to.
Yeah, so you can jump into yours.
So daily statements. NLA clams down on banker-to-banker operators. NDP Kunedu won't return to NDC.
Yeah.
I thought as much that something like this should come from the NDP. Even if Kunedu will return, I mean, the return can't be that easy. I mean,
it's coming from Zaneto, actually.
There has to be.
Not the NDP. I don't know if she is part. Zaneto won on the ticket. Right. So it came from Zaneto, who won on the ticket of the NDC.
Yes,
right.
yes.
So she's making this call
for the mother to come back
to the NDC.
And then now the mother's party, that is the NDP, says no. Nana
okay,
Kunedu,
so the NDP has responded.
Yes. Nana Kunedu is not returning today, tomorrow, or the day after. And I'm saying that I expected something like this. I mean, even if Nana will go back to the NDC, it shouldn't be that easy. They should give them some, they would give them some tough time. Yeah, exactly. But I won't also be surprised if she deflects to the party.
Maybe Zaneto should have also appealed to the NDP.
Perhaps the NDP should
let her go.
Maybe
you two take her back.
Maybe the NDP should also call on Zaneto to join them. Perhaps. Maybe she can be the running mate too. Nana Kunedu anyway. Let's eschew what is morally evil. And this is coming from Dr. Baumia. Akufo-Addo applauds 63 years of Ghana UNESCO cooperation and 250 journalists to undergo sponsored training annually. Okay. Okay, this is quite interesting. I think you have an interest in Squid Game creator confirms season 2.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, I mean, certainly this is a movie that
was actually expected. Yeah,
we all expect a season 2.
The gentleman, instead of entering that aeroplane, decided to go back to the house again.
Exactly.
And so we have to know what he's going back to do.
For those who have not watched Squid Game, I used to be a hater of movies that claim so much hype. So much hype. Like I watched Bella Ciao and I was disappointed in the first 2-3 seasons. It was the final season that got me crying, actually.
I remember.
But for Squid Game, I think that there are a lot of lessons to learn in there. A lot of lessons.
There are, but
A lot.
I
Maybe people are just watching it for the fun. But for
Yeah.
me, I was able to deduce at least 5 lessons.
Oh yes, yes,
Typical amongst them is trust.
exactly.
Second amongst them is teamwork. Third amongst them is judiciousness. And we can go on and on and on and
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Are you
yeah.
about to say something?
Yeah, I also got something about goodness from that regardless of what people throw at you, still just act, be good to them.
You just state and
Yes,
replace your
exactly.
lesson.
Because at the end of the day, people give what they have.
Exactly.
You continuously give what you have to them. And the gentleman, even at the end, where he could have just ended everything easily, decided to be good still. He was good from the start of the movie to the end. And that is for me. So we are expecting the season 2. That's fine. If we skate headlines, Ghana's Afrochella is back again. And I know my friend B, when I asked, Kuhu, I've seen Afrochella, he said, I have the ticket already. I said, hey! This guy. Anyway, movie premieres The Way to Go. Director and producers are talking here. Quickly to sports, and they're doing a lot of sports today because of the Black Stars. Guy Bill confident of facing Belgium after planned substitution against Belarus. Mbappe scores 4 as France qualify for Qatar in style. And Kid Galahad versus Kiko Martinez. Spaniard claims 6th round knockout. Steven Gerrard, Aston Villa named Rangers boss as new manager. That's it for the Daily Statesman.
Well, speaking about the creative arts industry, last week the IGP met some stakeholders in the creative arts industry. Says that he met celebrities, and this has brought a whole lot of conversations about who a celebrity is. Now, another aspect is the drama that unfolded at the meeting. Shatta was seen kneeling down and a whole lot of squabble amongst other things. And you should hear some of the demands that some of these, I don't know how well you celebrate them, these people were making at the meeting. Allow us to smoke weed.
I saw a post. I saw a post and I was like, I heard Shatta Wale. I don't know whether, perhaps I didn't listen to all the things Shatta Wale said in that interview, but I don't know whether he said those things. But what I heard briefly from him was that allow us to live the artistic life.
Like celebrities.
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't really mention celebrities,
Okay.
but he said they should be allowed to live that a life that has a resemblance to what they do, the trade that they are part of. For instance, how they dress and how they appear in public. Some of these stunts that they've been pulling just to expand their industry for them. And the question was that, how do you expand your industry? The expansion of your industry also depends on us, the consumers.
Exactly.
You don't do that at the expense of us. You don't say that we should allow you to appear however, if it means going naked, because your industry needs that to run.
Not the industry, but perhaps you think that your craft, and the
Exactly.
danger in that is that there is no defined behavior
Exactly. Within
apart
that,
from the acceptable normal behavior that we are all used to, but there is no defined way of life that a celebrity should live or a star should live. So I don't know, anybody could just wake up and say that Mimi dear, no, this is mine, this is what I think my craft or my calling or my music is demanding that I do. And so you decide that, okay, today me a Abodam for ambassador. Then you start, getting naked.
It's like saying that we are boxers. Allow us to
punch people.
Appear like how we are. We are restless. If you go to the Western world, even the porn stars, they are not allowed to engage in prostitution. And I do not know.
I mean, for areas where prostitution is illegal,
it is illegal.
It would be
They are not
illegal. But
exactly.
there are some porn stars who are also, have very big edifices in those red light districts.
Good. Red
in
light
the
district is even
Netherlands
a very different thing on its own. But then I'm trying to say that the fact that that is your trade doesn't mean. I mean, I am a martial artist. Doesn't mean I should appear holding cutlasses or. I mean, I'm a movie. Chuck Norris should appear always all the time holding guns and walking around because he's Chuck Norris in movies.
He appeals to his art, and people love him for his karate.
We cannot we cannot allow that. I mean, there are consumers of whatever you are sending or the products that you produce, and you should also be mindful of the consumers. You can't just for your money, because you want money, people should just consume anything.
Exactly. So if Reginald Robertson, who is also acting a few movies, I don't want to state which one, but it starts with a P. It's a political. It's not what you are thinking.
Oh, but what am I thinking?
Political movie.
I was even coming to think of pensioners movie.
Oh,
if it's a P, I mean,
there's that as well. Yeah. There's that as well. I mean, he can be walking around
or prophetic movies.
Exactly. It can be, prophetic movies.
Prophetic movies are also there.
Well, I want to say kudos to the IGP.
Yes.
Many are also trying to turn this around to say that he only wants hype from these people because they are hypesmen. But I believe that people are getting it wrong if they want to think that way. I just also want to call on the IGP because he made this call that whatever the creative arts does is in line of their work, peace, harmony, whatever have you. We journalists as well have a line with the dissemination of information. We also play a role when it comes to maintaining internal peace, amongst other things. So I'm looking forward to that invitation from the IGP.
He has met.
He didn't meet
news editors. He met news editors.
He met news editors, not the broad concern of journalists. So I am looking forward to that.
For me, I like his stakeholder engagement.
Exactly.
Over the weekend, in fact, I think from Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, thereabout, he met with the GPRTU leadership. I think in different regions. I watched live his meeting with the Takrade GPRTU leadership, where, I mean, they had a lot of engagement. Went to some traditional leaders in the area to engage them. I think he will be doing that for a while, just to make sure that everybody is clear on exactly what the police wants to do and how they want to do their work. And so that, you don't come to him and say, you have a chief, please. The relationship between chiefs and the police has always been a cordial one and blah, blah. Don't do that.
Well, so the stakeholder engagement should continue.
Yes.
Let's look into the Chronicle newspaper, the True Independent, Mkondo Wesizwe, Spear of the Nation, volume 30, number 209, Monday, 15th November, 2021. 3 cities. Bring Konedu back to NDC, Zaneto tells leadership. Bring Konedu back to NDC. Zaneto tells leadership. People keep spelling it Zenato. Zaneto. She says it's Zaneto.
It's like stick and steak.
Oh yes.
It's like
you would want to mention it as stick. You would want to. People are shouting. Can I hear you shouting?
The word is spelled like that.
Exactly.
But the pronunciation is stick. Yeah. So I think we should go with it.
Yeah. Well,
the spellings are different.
But you can't treat a whole member of parliament as a meat. You see. You can call stick steak or steak stick. You can call.
But I mean, they are nouns still. So perhaps that explains why people.
Anyways, good example over there. What my comedy me pay. Court orders NHC to restore Adama Latch's name within 14 days. Sorry, one day, right? Court orders NHC to restore Adama Latch's name within 14 days. The story is on page 12 of the Chronicle newspaper. Now, Ghana is proud of her UNESCO membership, says His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. MOI to build capacity of 250 journalists annually. Ministry of Information there. Now, Keta, tidal waves knock heads in Parliament. Afenyo marking, hydrologists insist sand winning is the cause. However, Dafia Mekpo Roxon and Ama Kofi Blame disagree and things go ballistic. Parliamentarily ballistic. Parliamentarily ballistic. As members of parliament were seen losing their cool, almost engaging in a fist fight, but it was a brawl, so we'll leave it at that. I must express my disappointment at the majority side for their stance, disappointing stance on the plight of the people of Ketusat. It is very, very disappointing. And this goes on to support the claim that we made earlier, that these people do not have a touch with the people on the grounds. You don't feel what the people are feeling. You don't have empathy. If you had empathy, it will not be such a time that people have been displaced from their homes. Children are involved in there. They have been displaced from their homes. And whilst redress is being sought to this very situation, you go and pick a picture that is not even Ghana. A picture that is not even Ghana to say that sand winning is the cause of their problems, when you've done no research whatsoever into the matter. And this shows a clear stance that there is no willingness to see to the plight of the people. You are not sensitive to the plight of the people. And it is very, very disappointing that a majority whose activities, whose hands will see better, rather to the solving of the problem, would post lies. Lies. I'm not even getting unsubstantial claims.
Another disappointment I have about this whole issue is
this tells a lot about their position. It's very sad.
It's how the state institutions responsible for stepping in situations like this have also handled the issue at hand. I am very disappointed at how the NADMO, the CODA, they have moved in, but I mean, it's just how we do things. We have to allow things to get almost out of hands before we move in. I mean, we could have done things immediately and even upped our game. And for me, they are my biggest disappointment, that parliamentarians can do, politics, or politicians can do politics with it. But you are a state institution. Why are you paid? You are paid to step in some of these
institutions. We've heard substantially that they are not well resourced. NADMO, for one, has complained severally in areas where they need life jackets. They tell you they're under-resourced. In areas where they need to provide relief items, they tell you they are under-resourced, which is why people get drowned and we are not able to retrieve their bodies, because the institution that is supposed, they don't even have speedboats whatsoever.
That is my problem with the institution.
So the under-resourcing of these institutions that are supposed to see to unforeseen circumstances like natural disasters are not being resourced. What does this say of the people in power?
But Ray,
they are not willing.
On Saturday, I listened to Dr. Richard Asante. He's the Deputy Communications Director for the NPP. He made a statement. Out of the lot he said, I was particularly interested in one statement that when he mentioned even the military has these resources sometimes to step in situations like this. So there are levels, to that, that these people move in first. If you can't, or if it's beyond you, if you need help, call this other institution that can also come in. And you can be under-resourced. I may be under-resourced. This may be under-resourced. But perhaps when we put our strengths together, be able to do something, rather than you alone going in with your situation.
If we have a NADMO that we know that they will go in there and they wouldn't be able to do the job, and then we will call the military. then why do we have
No,
an admin in the first
that
place?
is one, but
And
not
then
even necessarily.
I want to
Okay.
make a point. Secondly, if you have the military that is supposed to see to, you know, maintaining internal peace whilst fighting external aggression, you know, seeing to such
You know, there's a
matters.
wing.
What
There's a wing of
happens
the.
if there is an emergency?
There's
that
a wing of the
has to-
military. There's a wing of the military that takes care of some of these things. I mean,
Right.
natural disasters. There's a wing of the military that are sent in mostly, but mostly they are the last resort. So I'm not even talking about the military going there. I'm talking about the fact that there are other state institutions that in such situations they can also move in.
Right.
But it even depends on the severity of the situation. So if, because I am under-resourced, I cannot provide whatever I'm supposed to provide immediately. I mean, they are taxpayers. Take the taxes out. They are human beings. They are Ghanaians in the first place. So it doesn't matter who goes in to save them. Saving is what we need for them. So we will not. We can't allow them to die. I mean, we can't allow them to die.
Certainly.
So for me, even if it will take the military's wing that takes care of natural disasters to go and save them, they should move in to go and save them at the end of the day.
That is paramount.
You understand? And so I don't understand why we continuously say we are under-resourced. I mean, okay, we cannot sing the we are under-resourced, how do you call it, song all the time. Should we continue singing that song when something collapses somewhere, we are under-resourced, people are dying. Something that water is carrying people, we are under-resourced, people are dying. Bridges are collapsing, we are under-resourced. Then we might as well, I mean, forget about these state institutions. If you are under-resourced, what then do you do to get resourced? You understand? I do not know how they operate, I mean, their mechanisms of operations. But if it means being on the government to find resources for you, I mean, that is why you are employed there. Sometimes they should also provide the government some of the heat. It shouldn't come from all, I mean, the parliamentarians and only us. They should, you are a state institution. Your mandate is to the state. Your mandate is to the people. You go sit down and say, government hasn't said, or government hasn't brought me money. So I am sitting down. I mean,
at the end of the month, they collect their salaries.
for that one you collect. The government didn't bring you resources,
collect.
but he brought you your salary and you took that one.
But I'm particularly very, very disappointed about the position of, you know, some of the members of the majority. Like, if I understood nothing in school at all, I know that accepting the problem is one of the preliminary phases of solving the problem. If you don't acknowledge that there is a problem, you will never be able to find a solution to the problem. Why blame the people of something that is non-existent? Why deceive the public? Why throw dust in the eyes of the public that these people are suffering as a result of their own plight, when indeed you've conducted no research whatsoever? That is an insult to the plight. It's like adding salt to the injury of the people. And I think that the members of parliament who did that should come out and apologize. We are members of parliament. We expect better from you.
We should also, I think, applaud individuals and other institutions who went in to help.
Exactly.
A lot of people.
Exactly.
I saw the Association of Bankers moving in.
Let me.
Really,
I am in no certain means endorsing anybody, but former President John Dramani Mahama
has been
donated a lot of items.
In fact,
it shouldn't come from a single individual.
In fact, before he went there, had been several MPs and in fact, individuals had actually gone in. People had given their churches, auditoriums to the affected people to come and use as a place of shelter whilst the problem is being solved. And congratulations to, I mean, kudos to those people for coming in to help their fellow Ghanaians, coming in to help their fellow citizens. God bless those people.
God bless them. God bless their souls. Now, let's look at the back page of the Chronicle newspaper. Now, Kotoko maintain perfect start to stay top. That's one story. Has draw again against Aduana. Another one here says that Dreams team Accra Lions at Deum. Great Olympics beat Legon cities in Accra Derby. RTU, Real Tamale United, beat Wafa in Tamale. That's it for the front and back pages of the Chronicle. The Bible quotation for the Chronicle is taken from Proverbs 26 verses 4. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him yourself. Asemaba. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him yourself. And this is certainly true. Now, that's it for the Chronicle newspaper. If you grab a copy for yourself, there are some other stories in there, interesting ones for that matter.
The festival has a very interesting,
Los Angeles.
Festival has a very interesting comment about
the Bible quotation.
Yeah.
What's he saying?
He says it's an advice from somebody to somebody. I don't know.
Oh yes, it's certainly an advice from somebody to somebody. But I think that everyone can pick bits and pieces of their own something from Proverbs chapter 26 verses 4. So if you know that you also respond to such folly, then remember that it also makes you a fool. A fool. F-O-O-L.
Yes.
Fool.
Okay.
You're watching AM Ghana here on Adoatv Television. Well, remember we're streaming live on Facebook, it's Adoatv Ghana, and on YouTube, Adoatv_GH. And you can share your thoughts, comments with us. Let's get interactive with the conversations. So a lot of headlines, and when we come for the newspaper review segment, we're going to look at bringing back the NDC. We're going to look at the brawl, the tidal waves, amongst other things. We'll go through some aspects of the newspapers and we'll have a discussion on them. So you can join in that as well. Do stay tuned. We'll be right back after this quick one.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
CB women capsules now. I'm not correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. Who anyone? Oh, middle. You capsules back on CB men capsules. Me see CB men capsules na make a year.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You knew the data. And one year packaging I had the
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada for. Any kwada won you and come home.
Susanna, Ghana man man tamasi.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aji edredin kato yato.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Water, but you're not getting your map. And that's all I'm about to order. You are fired.
Malaria nti aba yi waye juma bono.
What you are doing here?
Malaria therefore ya o. Enti awo ahire ne customers ni. Wahu ne se maami aye smart. Apa CB Malakio. Amma ne ba ya odi ko school. She se aduane si beri market chi ani malaria nti a onti mi ni. Onia enti na ho ema we mu biara to wo. So we malaria test. Maybe we want. And Trebetua and the CB Malakio. Yedinuna, Nehama, and Nakika bomb as soon as I CB Malakio. And no way so dear. And I don't grow. I yet tata shit.
A drawing your ma appeal for about a woman for any quada won't fear dunya.
Susiana. What would you with you?
FD Ashusha sa a jedi and kratoimu adia to Muse eye.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing decks at the work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for staying. It's AM Ghana on Adoatv Television, and we have some very, very interesting discussions here. Myself and Reginald Ade going to go through a story we have in the Ghanaian Times. Quite interesting here. Now, the Catholic bishops appeal to government to address challenges facing free SHS. Catholic bishops appeal to government to address challenges facing the free SHS. Now, don't forget that today starts the basic education certificate examination for our younger brothers and our sisters. So when you say a prayer, can you remember them and say a prayer for them? Now, after a 5 days conference, the Catholic bishops deliberated on a lot of things and released an 8-page document. And our interest in the document is particularly on the free SHS. I believe that the Catholic bishop, or the Catholics, let me put it generally that way. I mean, if anybody has any comment on the free SHS, I mean, they have the right to publish whatever comment. They have the right to express their displeasures, their joy, everything concerning the free SHS. Because in Ghana, we have the Catholics having educational institutes from the basic level even to the tertiary level. And so when it comes to education, they are major contributors and major stakeholders in our educational sector as far as our country is concerned. And today, they are appealing to the government to address the free SHS. That has been, I mean, as far as NDC and NPP is concerned, has been receiving some punches and all that. NPP says there are no challenges. NDC says, oh, there are challenges. Now the bishops are saying, or the Catholics are saying that, well, we commend the government for initiating such a policy, but let us pay attention to some of these challenges associated with the free SHS. Ray.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I support the claim when you say that, you know, they have a right in speaking on educational matters. I mean, the Catholic mission in itself, you know, in coming to Ghana through, you know, the slave trade activities and what so have you, was focused on education. And education came in the form of educating members to become to be enrolled into the priesthood, educating people about the Christian faith, and it went on to establish educational institutions in the country. I mean, they didn't establish the first educational institution in the country, but certainly their contribution to education in the country has been immense.
Yeah, exactly.
Has been immense. And before most of these educational institutions became Saito, which is state-owned, they had, full control over them. And when you look at the manner of progress of states, governments, and their contribution, how they're progressing in education, if it had been for the states alone, there would have been a lot of deficits.
Exactly.
That
I don't think we would have made this progress.
We would have gotten this far.
Yeah.
So first off, let's say kudos to the Catholic institution for the secondary schools and basic schools. Secondary school is part of the basic school. Tertiary as well. I mean, there is a Catholic University College in Fiapre.
Yes.
And it goes straight on to say that they center around education. So whatever goes on in the educational sphere bothers them. All right. So they have called on government to see to mitigating the challenges. So now, what does this tell us? This tells us that indeed the challenges are diverse. The challenges vary. And for opposition parties to have come to indicate that there are challenges with the free SHS, and for stakeholders like the students themselves and the parents whose wards are in school currently to have also come out to complain, and then perhaps the Catholic bishops crowning it with their observation as well. I think that, look, it's high time the state, the government jumps over the excuses that they give us. It's high time they jump over using the free SHS as an explanation to everything good or bad. Oh, why are we facing this economic recession? Oh, that is a free SHS
but I even think it's not a bad thing entirely, because when you have major stakeholders of a policy you have started coming out to tell you their observations, this is feedback for you.
Exactly.
That needs to be
exactly. But what is this feedback morphed into? When feedback comes, it behoves on the recipient to either take it in bad faith or good faith. Now, the side that we have seen the government take is unfortunate. It's that side of playing defense over that feedback. Meanwhile, this feedback is supposed to give you knowledge in order to assess the progress.
Take a look at it.
Evaluate
and
monitor.
See how
what is going on the grounds. Well, the Catholic, it's not a religion. Faith.
Okay, the Catholic faith.
The Catholic faith has not left, education to the state, even though the state has a greater hand. When you go to the Catholic senior high schools, you realize that there is that Catholic enforcement in there. The same with the Anglican institutions as well.
Immense contribution still at all levels.
Exactly. Yeah. And when it comes to times where they have to resuscitate some departments of the school, they do that.
You realize that even though the state has taken over the basic schools, they still have they still maintain their names. So exactly. You go to Roman Catholic JHS, Roman Catholic LA something. So they are still there, and at the senior high level, we know what is happening. The St. Augustine's colleges and that. All those are still maintaining the Catholic. I think Methodist, I think.
Yeah, Holy Child is Catholic.
Wow.
I'll try to find Holy Child Catholic a college or. But hey, Sam, the challenges are there, and like I said, the political parties have spoken on it. Let's put political parties aside. The real stakeholders, talking about the students, and their parents, have complained. The students, if you ask them, they complain about stuff like this. They complain about stuff like teachers who have not taught certain courses for the whole
this is different. Semester.
Exactly, this is different from the teachers, being there. But when I was in secondary school, whenever the class rep wanted to go and call the call mass teacher, we all shout at him, and so he sits in the classroom. And yeah, we suffered. That one there, the teachers are there, but this one, the teachers are not there.
Exactly. And another thing is, they also complained about the food supply. I mean, you realize recently food shortage in the secondary schools had been another topical
and
issue.
When we probed into that, we were told that there is no such thing.
Yeah, exactly.
We were told, we heard from the agric minister that there is no such thing as food shortage in the secondary schools. Meanwhile, this thing is there, and it's not just, it doesn't just hover around the food shortage in itself, but the procurement more practices that goes in there. You remember in some schools in the Ashanti region, I don't want to mention names, but I mean they were there, the names were there, where found culpable of breaching procurement practices when it comes to the school feeding programs and what have you. Well, these are all bits and parcels of those challenges. The students will tell you that they don't have this, they don't have teachers, they don't have the textbooks that they are supposed to.
I mean, these are the things that make the free SHS what it should be.
Exactly.
And so if you don't attend to them, if we have challenges with it, we have challenges with the free SHS.
Exactly.
We can't isolate these things.
Exactly.
Why are we having these things? We are having them because when we were in school, I mean, we didn't have overcrowding in school. I do not know, maybe I don't remember, but I don't remember ever hearing of food shortage during our time. Among others.
We had food, we used food for seho and all that.
Exactly. But so these are really the whether you like it or not, the components of the free SHS. What is free SHS without dining hall food? I mean, not free SHS. What is SHS without dining hall food? I mean, you cannot have an effective boarding system when you can't provide food for the students in the school.
Exactly.
Teachers, we don't even have to talk about teachers. Then why are they in school in the first place?
Now the teachers will also constantly be going on strike. These are some of the challenges.
Exactly.
As they will tell you, there are no challenges.
But there are.
It depends on where you want. They are everywhere. The teachers go on strike.
We should not just say there are not challenges. Like you rightly put it earlier, accepting that there are challenges is one of the first steps to solving the problems.
Really?
If we know the teachers are not enough, and we accept teachers are not enough, then may not. I mean, perhaps you don't have money to even pay when we recruit, but we can find a way around it. If we know we don't have classroom blocks to contain the numbers, free SHS, so the numbers definitely are going up. If we don't have classroom blocks to contain the numbers, you brought in how do you call it, the double track. Entirely, it is not bad, but there are so many challenges with the double track.
No, for me, the double track was the bane of the implementation of free SHS. It was the bane of it. It changed the curricula, not the curricula. It changed the timetable in itself, such that the contact hours that these students were supposed to have in classroom was drastically reduced.
Now, if you go to the education ministry, in fact, and I listened to the education minister speak on it severally, that rather the contact hours have rather gone up. That is the education minister. I watched him on Good Evening Ghana. I watched him on, I think, Bernard's show and some other platforms where he was explaining what is happening. You see, all these are not the issues, whether contact hours has gone up or gone down. It does not, or it's even the fact that we don't know whether it has gone up or gone down simply tells us that there are challenges. You understand?
Once you can measure.
Exactly. I listened to Patrick Iwa trying to dissect the how do you call it, the double track thing. According to him, he said if perfectly handled, established, would be one of the best things to happen to our education system. You see how another stakeholder sits down, observe, evaluates, assess, and then realize that, and then goes ahead to say that if we are able to do it well, it simply means there is a problem. But our problem as the leadership is the fact that we don't even want to accept that there are problems. I don't know why it is so difficult for us to accept that. The people are struggling. Free SHS is struggling. The teachers are struggling. The students are struggling. Parents are. Everybody related to free SHS is struggling. We are even struggling talking about it.
Exactly.
And I do not know why this is so obvious for us to accept. Sit down, do lots more consultations, come back and address all these problems. Fortunately for us, some of these schools, the double track some of these schools have stopped now because I think there are more classroom blocks to contain some of these people. People have built more classroom blocks and all that. But that is where we want to get to, and we should get there immediately because until that, our education, system is almost messed up.
Right. So it's as simple as said. If we do not acknowledge the challenges, we are toying. We are toying. We are playing pilolo.
Oh, we have intentionally decided to do that.
We are playing pilolo. We are playing chaskele. Chaskele is a better term. It's like you toss their brains and then you hit it with a stick. That is what we are doing to our future. If we not acknowledge that there are challenges in the free SHS, we can't pretend that free SHS is not good. We all love free. Free there we all love. But see, if you make us suffer for the free, then the free is not worth it. We would rather love to pay. In fact, we don't want to go back to paying senior high school fees and what have you. So let's go back to the drawing board and listen to the Catholic bishops, listen to the cry of the ordinary Ghanaian, the students, the mothers, the parents, and fix free SHS now. Well, you're still watching AM Ghana. Here with Sam Kusiapia. We just spoke on that one. Now, we're going to have a conversation on health. And we'll take a quick turn. When we come back, we'll be joined in by a doctor via the phone lines. And we'll go straight into some health matters. Do stay tuned.
Malaria nti abayi waye juma bono malaria defo ya o nti awo ahire ne customers ni wahu ne se maami aye smart abe CB Malakio amma ne baya odi ko school she se aduane si berry market chi ani malaria nti a onti mi ni and now Emma when we are out to walk. So we have malaria test. Maybe we want a trapetwa and the CB Malakio. Yedinuna, Nehama, and now kick out bomb as soon as I CB Malakio. And no way so dear, and I don't grow. I yet tap shit.
A drawing near my appeal for about a woman for any quada one in feed.
Susiana, what would you with
FD Ashesha sa a jedi and crack to you more adia to Musa and
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
CB will make up now. I'm correct. What's your best mankasa? That's it. Oh, middle. You captures about one. CB man capsules. Me see CB men capsules na make a year.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You knew that.
All right, thanks for staying as AM Ghana here on Adoatv Television, and we have Dr. Muftau Mohammed on the line. We are very, very interested in your health. That is why every day we try to come your way with some tips as far as your health is concerned, so that we can live healthy, because health, they say, is wealth. And when you are healthy, you can become a partner, as you have always been. And so today, we are bringing you some discussions on health, and with me, to do that will be Dr. Muftau Mohammed. Doc, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
All right. So whilst we try to get Doc on the line today, we are talking about diabetes. Diabetes. I know once you hear diabetes, the immediate thing that comes in your mind is sugar. Diabetes and sugar. We are going to find out from Doc whether there is any relationship between sugar and diabetes, what causes it, what it is in the first place, what we need to avoid eating or consuming so as not to get diabetes, and even if we have it, what are the signs, what can be done to help us cure diabetes. All right. Doc, how are you doing? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you too?
Hello, Doc. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning. I can hear you.
All right, Doc. Thanks for joining us, and we are grateful for your time again today, Doc. Diabetes scares a lot of people, myself included. This morning, can you tell us what it is about? What is diabetes? When we hear diabetes, when doctors say diabetes, what exactly it is?
So, thank you very much for the opportunity. So, as you said, when we mentioned diabetes, the first thing that comes to mind is sugar. And then when we talk about diabetes in the medical sense, then we are talking about metabolic disease that affects the way our body is supposed to burn.
Okay, Doc. Hello, Doc. If you can hear me, kindly hold on for me, and let me just adjust myself. I think the line is not very great for us, so just hold on for us whilst we try to. So we'll take a quick turn, Doc. We'll come back to you very, very soon.
No problem.
Malaria nti abayi wo yejuma bono malaria defo ya o nti awo ahire ne customers ya wo ne se mami ya smart apa CB malakio amma ne ba ya odi ko school she se aduane si berry market chi ni malaria nti a onti mi onia and na ho ema we mu biara to wo so we malaria test na bi wo mu a edra bede wa ene CB malakio yedinuna ne hahama na akeka bom asone so aye CB malakio edra we so de anya nyonkra o aye tata she
edra yi nyema apemfo abata woma womanfo ene nkwada woni mfie dumia
Suziana wa odi wunya
FD ahwehwe saa ejedie nkrato yi mu agye atomu se eye
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
All right, welcome back and thanks for staying. We were on the line with Dr. Mohammed Muftau, and unfortunately we had to lose him because of the network. But Doc is back. Doc is the master. Doc is a medical herbalist and has a master of public health. We are speaking about him, speaking to him about diabetes. Doc, welcome back.
Yes, thank you very much.
Doc, you were explaining what diabetes is to us before the line went off. Can you briefly touch on it again for us?
Yes, thank you very much. And then good morning once again to your cherished viewers. When we talk about diabetes, as you said in your introductory remarks, you mentioned about sugar. So basically, when we talk about diabetes, we are talking about when there is too much sugar within the blood. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead, Doc.
Hello?
Yes, please, Doc. I'm here. You are live. Go ahead.
Yes. So when we talk about diabetes, we are talking about too much sugar in the blood. And this results as the ineffectiveness of the pancreas to produce enough insulin, or not at all. We know that insulin is a hormone in the body, that when the body releases the insulin from the pancreas, the insulin is supposed to enhance or tell the body cells to be able to pick up the sugar within the blood, so the sugar will be metabolized to give us energy. We are able to work, we are able to talk because of sugar.
Wow.
Because sugar is the source of energy in life. But if the body fails to metabolize the sugar, we will not be able to get the necessary energy that we need. So what happens with diabetes is that while there is no enough insulin within your blood, you will not be able to metabolize the sugar and get energy. That's the first. Secondly, sometimes the sugar or the insulin will be available, but your body cells will not be responsive to the insulin for it to be able to pick up or mop up the sugar within the blood to be metabolized. So these are some of the means where people can get the disease that we call diabetes. And then we also know that we have different types of diabetes. We have the one that children can get it, which we call the juvenile diabetes, which is commonly known as type 1 diabetes.
But okay, children. Oh, okay. You go ahead. I'll ask my question as we go ahead.
Yes. So we have the children type, which we call the type 1 diabetes. Formerly, we refer to it as the insulin-dependent diabetes. In this case, when children are born, they have issue with their pancreas.
Okay.
Their pancreas is not functioning at all. It's not able to produce the insulin. So immediately, this group of people will have to be given exogenous insulin, that is insulin that is synthesized, so that it will be injected in them for them to be able to survive.
Okay.
And the second type of diabetes that we have is the adult stage, or the non-insulin dependent, or the type 2 diabetes. This classification is largely our main issue. Now, a majority of people with diabetes, about 95% of them, suffer from this type of diabetes.
Okay.
We used to call it non-insulin dependent, meaning that one will not depend on insulin.
Yeah.
We used to call it adult onset diabetes because we know that it normally affects adults from 40 years and then above.
Okay.
But currently, the research that have shown that even children have gotten this type of diabetes.
The type 2.
Years, you have
that is the type 2, right?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, that is the type 2.
Yeah, the type 2. Yes. And then also, we former name that we call the non-insulin dependent. Now realize that some of the people who get this kind of disease, when we give them the therapy, they sometimes don't respond to it and they have to be given insulin.
Wow.
So these are former names that we used to attach to this kind of diabetes, which is called the type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
And as I said, majority of people, about 95% of people living or diagnosed with diabetes fall within this category.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And then the third one we also have is the gestational diabetes. That one commonly within our women when they are pregnant. There are some women when they are pregnant due to one or two changes, their sugar level will keep on rising. So that is gestational diabetes.
So Doc, if I understand you from the explanations you have given us, that when the sugar gets into our blood and it is not be able to, the breaking down processes doesn't happen well. That is what results in diabetes. So, what should we do to enhance the metabolism? I mean, is it exercises? Is it not eating it at all? Because you also mentioned that it produces energy for us to do a lot of things. But now, if you eat sugar, in fact, if you eat small drink, too much sugar, you get diabetes. If you are taking small coke, too much sugar, you put sugar in your gari, you get diabetes. What should be done exactly?
So the whole concept of sugar is that any food that you eat that gives you energy or any carbohydrate is a source of sugar.
Oh, okay.
The food that we eat, the food that we eat, the rice that we take, the yam, the cassava, and all those things, they are all sources of energy. And the lowest form of it is sugar.
Wow.
So when we eat bamboo, it will be digested through our mouth, through our stomach, the intestine, and then it gets absorbed. The lowest unit of it is the form of sugar. Yeah, so when you do that, and the reason why sometimes you see that people, sorry.
But Doc, before you go on, this type of sugar is not the one that we consume, right?
No, it's, the one that you consume happens to be more dangerous.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the one that you consume directly from some of these beverages and then some of the direct sugar. Because those ones, the moment you take it, it goes directly into your bloodstream.
Wow.
And when you make it a habit, over time, you are likely to suffer the consequences, more especially if you have a sedentary lifestyle. You are living a lifestyle that you don't do any form of physical activity.
But Doc, let me ask: if sugar gives us energy, then more sugar gives us more energy, oh?
Yes, that should be the concept. More sugar will give you more energy, but you are not using that energy.
Oh, okay.
You are teaching your office in air conditioning. You are taking more sugar, you are not using it. So the more sugar you take, if the body is not able to use it at the beginning, the body will start to convert it into fat.
Wow.
So the more sugar you take, the more energy you are getting. You are not using the energy, and the energy is being converted into fat. So now the more sugar you take, the more fat you accumulate in your body. And the more fat you accumulate in your body, it exposes your body to more diabetes, to more hypertension, to more cancer, and to more other non-communicable diseases.
So we should in other words, we should try and dissipate that energy that we have accumulated in our body. Okay.
Yeah, so it's about balance. What you put in you must have means of using it.
Okay.
Yes, now our work largely it is not energy consuming. Most of these office work that we do is not much energy consuming.
Yeah.
And certainly to realize that most of the people who are in the office are also fond of taking in more of these beverages.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is where the issue comes to. And that is where you have to be more careful.
Okay.
And the only way one can prevent himself or herself from getting diabetes or to minimize the risk of getting diabetes is to ensure that you have you control your weight.
Okay. Control your weight.
Yes, control your weight.
Okay.
And then also you also ensure that you engage in physical activity.
Oh, all
now,
right.
how do you control your weight? You control your weight through eating healthy.
Okay.
Food that is largely vegetables, less energy source, carbohydrate.
Okay. Less carbohydrate.
Yeah, less carbohydrate.
Hey, but doc, you know, I mean, in our system, I mean, in our society, where a lot of people, I mean, have to struggle to even get a 3 square meal in a day. People prefer eating banku. If I eat banku, it will take long time. I won't even have to eat again and all that. So banku is actually a delicacy, and then for people over a period of time, these people are perhaps getting themselves diabetes, I guess.
No, you see that the more food you eat, or the more quantity of food you take, does not necessarily mean that it will give you more energy.
Oh, okay.
You are taking more food, but you are giving your body more job in digesting it.
All right.
So you waste more energy in digesting. That is why you see people who overeat. Everything they finish eating, they are done. They cannot even, excuse me, think deeper. They want to find somewhere and rest and sleep and all those things. Yes, so if you want to try, you can try taking small quantity of the food.
Okay.
Within 1 week, you realize you will see how alert your brain will be, and then how productive you will be compared to eating too much. You will compare the two and you will see the benefit.
Okay.
Keep on giving excuses that we don't have money, that is, I not eat healthy. If you want to really eat healthy, there are ways that you can easily do. For instance, we have certain period in the season that certain group of food are more common and they are also less expensive.
Yeah.
You have to utilize those periods and then get more benefit from this kind of food.
Okay.
When it is the fruit season, any particular fruit, we make sure that we take in a lot of it so that we benefit from it.
Okay.
And we cannot always be giving ourselves excuses. If you go to hospital, we see a number of people suffering from this category of diseases. And the sad thing is that when you are poor and you reach 40 or 50 years, you've been diagnosed of diabetes, hypertension. Now you need more money to be able to
fight it.
To improve your yes. So
okay.
At the beginning, you complain that because you don't have money, you are eating anyhow, you buy this disease. Now when you grow, you cannot work. If you are lucky, you have children who will be supporting you small. But it will not be enough. We know how we are managing this country. You understand? Everywhere in the world, people are trying to survive.
Sure.
So if you delay and the disease comes at your adult stage where you cannot work, and now you need money to take care of your health,
you'll be in trouble.
More of the problem.
Yeah, you'll be in trouble.
We keep on educating people
to
seek early health care, visit the hospital as soon as possible. Whenever you start experiencing the symptoms of
that's where I was coming, Doc. What are the signs that shows, and where I will have to start thinking about perhaps visiting the hospital? What can I see about myself to even think of me having diabetes?
Yes. So the issue about diabetes is that if it is the, as I mentioned, the type 1, that one can easily be detected from infancy.
Yeah.
But the type 2, I mentioned there are some people, or most people, it's at the beginning, it will not give you any symptom.
Mm-hmm.
Before you realize it might have caused a lot of complications.
Oh, wow.
Before it will be realized. But one of the symptoms that you can, whenever you see it, you should be concerned is when you start urinating more frequently. Yes. Or when you are producing more urine than normal.
Oh, but that is when you are doing that without drinking more water, because I learned if you drink more water, you urinate a lot.
No. You know the number of water that you take normally when you are okay. But suddenly, when you notice that even you get excessive taste, you feel like taking more water. When you take it small time, you feel like taking more water. It's also a sign of diabetes.
Wow.
So urinating frequently, excessive taste. When you feel like taking more water, you should be worried about diabetes.
Wow.
And then when you also feel more, like you feel like eating, anytime you eat more, you feel like eating again, you should also be concerned. And then also when there's also fatigue in your system, you usually become weak, tiredness and all those things. You should be worried about diabetes, and quickly you have to visit the nearest facility and go and test. And the good thing about diabetes also is that diagnosing diabetes is not anything that is so difficult.
Okay.
You can even move into any health facility, whether it is a polyclinic, a health center, anywhere. When you go, they can even check your sugar and then they will tell you whether your level is okay or not.
Okay.
So I want to use the opportunity to encourage more people to engage in early health care, early health care. When there's any form of screening, they should go and do so that they will have an idea of their sugar level. That is the only best way of diagnosing diabetes.
Okay.
So at the earliest stage, when you are able to detect your status, you are likely to prevent any complications. Because one of the complications of diabetes is that it can cause blindness.
Yeah.
In the eye. Yes. It can also cause your wound to be difficult to heal.
Yeah.
It can result in amputation of one of the limbs.
Yeah.
Yes. So
okay.
it can also let you get hypertension.
Wow. Okay.
That is one of the things. So that is one of the things that people have to be careful. And also lead someone to getting stroke.
So
you know how stroke is.
Yeah.
Stroke will not kill you, but it will make you useless.
Exactly.
You are living, but you are not living.
Sure. So Doc, Doc, I want to find out what is the normal blood sugar by age. For instance, if somebody is say 20 years, I mean, what should be the normal blood sugar level for such age?
Yeah, so the normal blood sugar depends on whether you have eaten or you have not eaten.
Oh, wow.
And most often, when you are diagnosing diabetes, we rely on fasting blood sugar.
Okay.
So this is the time that when you eat overnight, maybe in the evening, and you have not eaten again till the following morning, you will not eat even water, you will not take water. When you go and check the sugar, if you check the sugar and it is more than 6, hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Doc, I'm here.
If you check the sugar is more than 6, around 7, 8, there is a problem.
Wow.
You should be worried.
Okay.
Yes. So the doctor will pass you through some procedure to confirm whether you really have it or not. And if you have eaten, maybe the morning you have eaten something, and for instance, after 2 hours, and we check, and we see that the sugar is getting above 10, that one too, it's also a cause
it's also a cause for concern.
That one too, the doctor also is a guideline that you will be passed through to be able to confirm whether you are diabetic or not. So this is what we normally do to be able to diagnose someone with diabetes.
Doc, so if someone is diagnosed of diabetes, what are some of the things the person would have to do to manage the situation well? When it comes to food, what will be the best diet for such persons, and also what other activities will help enhance the person's health?
So if you are diagnosed with diabetes, now there is too much sugar in your system. So the first thing is that you have to cut off anything, too much intake of anything that contains sugar.
Okay.
Yeah. So the direct sugar from the beverages, and then the sugar that we put in our teas and others, automatically you'll be asked to stop.
Yeah.
Then secondly, you also be asked to start a lot of physical activity based on your tolerable level.
Okay.
All the physical activity, all the exercises that you do, you should do it at your strength. And you should also do exercises that you can be able to continue over time.
Okay.
To get the necessary benefit from it. And then one other thing also, you have also, if you are fond of smoking, you have to stop smoking.
Okay.
Either you are smoking or you sit around people who are smoking. All of it, you have to pay attention. If you are smoking, stop smoking. If you sit around people who are smoking, you have to stop that so that you will not get the effect of smoking. And you also have to be careful with alcohol.
Okay.
If you can, you have to stop it totally so that you'll be free.
It also produces sugar, I guess.
Yes. And it also lets your body accumulate more fat.
Yeah.
That can cause more problems for yourself. And then one other important thing is for people who are diagnosed with diabetes, you ensure that you don't joke with their medication.
Okay.
A lot of times we joke with our medication. When you go to hospital, you have been given instructions regarding your medication. When you come out, then people will tell us all sorts of things about, stop taking it, go and take this, go and take that. You don't realize the complications will set in. And when the complications set in, the emergency case, when you are in a critical condition, you will be rushed back to the hospital again. So I want to take the opportunity to also advise our viewers. When you go to hospital, you are giving medication. Don't get distracted, or don't let other people who are not experts to display or to tell you something that is unfounded.
Yeah.
To stop taking your medication, that can result in early death or in getting complications that can affect the quality of your life.
Yeah.
So people have to be more careful. If we are more careful about our medication, we'll be able to minimize a lot of these complications that we get from eye, kidney, stroke, and all those things, so that we'll be able to live longer. Live a happy life.
Okay. Doc, this is eye-opening. I mean, personally for me, I've learned a lot from what you have explained, and I think living a healthy life is actually very possible for everybody to do. And when we're able to do that, we are able to maintain our lives and the lives of our families and all that. Thank you very much, Doc, for coming around and educating us on what diabetes is, what we have to do, what we do not have to do, and even if we are diagnosed of diabetes, the things we need to do and not. Thank you very much, Doc, for speaking to us.
Yes, thank you.
That was Dr. Mohammed Muftawu, a medical herbalist, and he was speaking to us about health. What I picked from what Doctor said is the fact that we need to eat healthily, and trust me, some of the things that we eat that produces more sugar, or the direct sugar we take in our system, if there are we don't have a lot of insulins in our blood to metabolize the sugar, break it down to become energy for us to use, there is a problem. And of course, if more energy is also deposited in our system and is underused, there is another problem. So let us exercise regularly. Let us keep exercising regularly to burn down the energy deposited, or the energy deposits in our system. Let us eat more vegetables. He mentioned that. He also mentioned that there are certain times more foods like vegetables, some fruits are more, they are seasonal. Let us take advantage of that and eat more and benefit from them. The banku and the more and the direct sugar and all those other carbohydrate, energy-giving foods, we should reduce it, minimize it, and we can be safe. Please, most importantly, today I'm not going to take Coke and Fanta again and the sugar again. So you to make a resolution not to do that, and let us all be safe, so that for us, Adoatv can keep on bringing you good things in life. I'm going to stop because I want to continuously come your way every day, and so if you want to also be able to watch me and my colleagues, then you also have to make some changes in how we eat, how we live, how we sleep, we take rest, and how we exercise and all that. Thank you for staying with us. My name is Samuel Kusiapi. I did that with Dr. Muftao some few minutes ago, and of course, Reginald Ade was also here with me. We'll come your way tomorrow, God willing, on AM Ghana. Stay with us and enjoy the rest of our programs.